Okay, that should be started.
Yeah, it's up actually.
Okay,
It's
good.
up and going, I believe. Yeah, it's up actually.
Okay, good.
Up and going, I believe. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself here and okay. So we have two people watching.
Yeah, did you I mean, yeah, let's just get into it. Did you
Yeah.
I ended up doing all the exercises this time around. Did you get to them?
Wow. That's I tried actually, but since like I'm gonna say this like um, I wouldn't call myself like I went through the whole thing definitely, but I wouldn't call this like as if I understand everything. But I did take your advice from what you said about like things in the last like Unix/Linux book, which is just this is like more of your first couple passes of like this thing. So I do not need to understand everything. Um, Even like the scripts that were given, it was a little bit tough for me to like understand it, what's like going on and everything. So my thing was just like to go over them and see what they're doing, and of course to like try them out in my own machine. But yeah, not every single. But I kind of uh, like kind of went over the things, but like I was okay with like not understanding every single one of them. Uh, but because of like me not understanding every single aspect of something, like this is me first like going through scripting um, in this way for the first time. So there were a lot of exercises that I just couldn't do. There were some that I could do, but yeah, there are a lot of exercises that I couldn't complete.
Okay. Well, luckily I did them so I can answer questions if you have any.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good actually.
I mean, I did most of them. Some of them were like funnily enough, like one of them
Hmm.
asks you to run shell check on repos
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
see on bash repos and see if they work. So I checked out if you had checked out ADFS because I use Mees, which uses ADFS plugin. So I was like, okay, I'll just check out ADFS. I know that's bash based, and
hmm.
I didn't find anything in there. And then I checked on DistroBox. I just look for a
Yeah,
big bash repo, and then here
yeah.
I check their CI, and would you look at that? They're already running shell check. So all the big repos that I looked through already ran shell check or had no vulnerabilities in the first place. So
I mean, this, like, I think it was suggested by, before, like, we even got here, I think it was suggested to us by, like, sudo,
mhm.
basically do, like, cell check stuff and everything like that. So, yeah, I kind of figured that most of the, repos, like, that are actually online or anything like that that's production grade will be using something like that. So I did couple of, like, bash scripts that I got from, like, just people writing code, like basically Stack Overflow. Like he just like got a bunch of like um, scripts from there and ran such shells. Like even those are like actually I feel like it was hard to find anything. But yeah, a couple of like scripts since people are learning there. There were a couple of scripts that could have been optimized or like few things were like well some scripts were just not running. But I guess it's just that's expected from people who are just like basically asking for help with something. But yeah, it was interesting to do that.
Let's see if I have anything on mine because I didn't run them on my things. Let's see. I feel like nothing in that one. And my amazing color script. Oh, there we go. I didn't put a shebang in my color script. Oh, it's the other way around. It's a hash bang because it's a comment bin/bash.
Can you like share your screen on Discord so I can see it real time?
Yes, of course. Thank you for the reminder once again. I will forget every time because bad streamer.
For you to have to wait a little bit actually to see what's going on.
Okay, well, for reference, ran shell check, found out I forgot to put a shebang at the top of my file, and then I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
run it again. And wow, there's no errors. I cannot believe that I'm a perfect coder. Just kidding. I
Yeah.
ran it on a different one and I had like 12 errors. But yeah, it was pretty easy. And since I did talk about ASDF, I installed shell check by just using Knees, which uses ASDF plugins,
Ah, okay,
which is
okay.
pretty fancy. And also, shell check's written in Haskell, which I
You're
have to
going
mention.
through right now?
Hmm.
Yeah, of course. Okay, I had no idea that it's okay, 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 got it, got it. What did you? Okay, I guess you could have just Googled. Okay,
What did I Google?
no, 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 the Haskell thing.
Oh yeah, it's like at the bottom. If you go to the shell check website, it says it's in Haskell, and then the recommended installers are all Haskell related at the top.
Mm, mm-hmm. Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, but I think this is very, very helpful from what I did. Because there were a few things that I mixed up. So like I made my own script because they asked you to make a. Did you make anything that was for your cleanup script? Or what was it?
Uh,
It was. Oh no, I made a cleanup script, but they said any long running tasks or various
they
maintenance.
ask you to like, yeah, that's actually a good thing to a script to do actually, which is they ask you to delete the folder that you're in and go to your previous folder. Yeah, I think you can just make a script for that.
Oh yeah, like I just made one. Like I made one that cleans out all of my node modules and various other build artifacts that haven't been used in the last 3 months, and then also shows me memory usage. I really don't need to have this. It was just like fun to go through and make it all concurrent. So like I can run that one, and it just deleted Haskell Roman numeral, which is has a cargo project in the middle of it, and it shows me my memory.
That's way more functional. I think you did way more functional stuff with it than I did actually. You're already like putting all this stuff into use.
I don't know if I'll use it after this point. Like the memory usage is not very helpful. I just couldn't think of anything else. But I do run the clean every once in a while. So like here is my commands. I just use
Mm-hmm.
condo for getting rid of the stuff. And
What's Conda?
it's like I think it's Marie Kondo, like that person. Like they say
Mm-hmm.
you don't need everything or get rid of the things that don't bring you joy, something like that. So condo is a
Okay.
utility that will get rid of things that are older than a certain amount of time. Or
Okay.
just
Okay. Okay.
however,
Okay.
like it'll look for all the build artifacts. So it found cargo build artifacts, it finds node build artifacts and Haskell and Ruby and anything you could think of probably.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have done is I just ran the script and sent the output to a temp file with logs in it, and then I tailed the end and I just did free-m to get my memory and put that in a file because I didn't know what else to do. And then for here, like this is the part that I messed up with the shell check stuff, which is I didn't quote this and I didn't use the at for the array. And yeah, for here, I just loop through all the commands, run them in the background, and then add the PIDs to this list. And then I wait for all of them to finish. And then once they're done, I log out everything.
Hmm. So cleanup and then log, basically.
It runs them concurrently.
Okay. Yep, I see the weight there.
Yeah, it reminds me a
Um,
lot. I wonder if Go took, or yeah, if Go, where Go got it from. Maybe this is just a concept that's there, but it reminds me of Go weight groups.
Go
I
weight
think those
groups.
are
What
what
are
those are
those?
called. That's a good question. Yeah, we have weight groups. So you pretty much make a weight group, and then throughout
Hmm.
you add a number, and
Yeah.
then once this is out of scope, you can say this is done, which will
Hmm.
subtract one from the counter, and then this will wait for the counter to be 0 before moving on.
Zero.
So it is different because you're giving it a process ID rather than counting up numbers, but maybe just waiting is the concept because this doesn't look all that similar now that I think about it beyond the waiting.
Hmm.
Either way, it
I
reminded
know
me
this
of
is
it.
like, yeah, something similar. Like when I was like, I know this is associated with processes, and like we are also like using. I mean, we are using stuff like built-in stuff like trap and like weight stuff like that. But that kind of just reminded me how like you have like various ways to deal with asynchronous stuff that you want to run in a programming language. Um, so yeah, I had no idea about what weight groups were, but yeah, okay.
Now you know.
Mm,
But yeah, this makes sense. Just going through log and everything.
mhm.
Yeah, the part that was confusing to
um,
me was the expansion of here. Like if I get rid of it, it'll let me know probably.
Expansion of what? Uh,
So if I clean artifacts, it was called. Okay. So it'll tell me I double quoted it and it won't word split and the loop will only run once. So I need to expanding an array without an index only gives the first element. And then it gives me more information and tells me what to do.
hmm. Even after completing this book, I'm still hazy on. I think this is to be expected, but yeah, on the like a little bit on the codes. I feel like there. I mean, there are some rules, but I feel like there are still some exceptions, and also I guess on the I think I'm a bit more clear on the braces and the parentheses. But yeah.
And then running this one, it tells me if I don't quote it, it will resplit potentially. Yeah, I mean, I think the good part about this is if you use shell check, it will inform
Yeah.
you of those times where you misquote something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Mm.
mm-hmm. Can you make spell check part of every single script that you write?
What do you mean? Like,
As in, I mean, you're doing it in a shell. You can just put in like the spell check in the script itself.
I'd probably recursively call shell check.
Yeah. Do you think that's a bad idea?
Infinite looping doesn't sound very good to me. You could write a script
There
to
must.
check all your files with shell check. That's what the repos did. They just looped over all of their files and shell checked them all.
Hmm.
I'm sure you could make it a part of your editor if you so chose.
Hmm. There must be a way to just do it once and like put something in a log file, or like spit it out on the console, without having to like do it like just if you run the script once, it automatically does the shell check. If there's anything there, then it just spits out um, something. Or if it's like nothing's there, it's all a-okay. It's just like no problem. Just runs the script. But if there's anything, it just like gives you a warning or something like that. Without having to go into like a big loop for it. I understand like what you're saying with the infinite loop.
I think you're talking about it would not be that hard to. You're talking about like a watch mode, right?
Like when you're just running a script and it just calls shell check and just like the shell check just goes through it like I know. Okay, I've learned enough to do it with a file, if there's a file that exists or not. But how can I do it with like just yeah, basically the behavior will be something along the lines of, I know we are like digressing here, but the behavior will be something like just let's just say you write a script which is like my script .sh, and when you run it, like if there's any like shell check is just part of it, and if it encounters any problem or any issues or anything, then it's just gonna give you like a basically it's gonna tell you something, and if it's like doesn't, then it's just like a-okay, the script runs. But now I'm thinking about it, just I guess when you're writing that script anyways, you will just make it go through shell check and like and there's no need to like rewrite something like that. So there's no point in having a shell check on a script that you only write once, because if you're writing it once, you're gonna write it you want to write it well correctly. So maybe it's for things that you're generating, but okay, okay, definitely not the use case. I just think of it right now.
Yeah, it makes sense to me to do it while you're writing the files or before you run the file, because doing it at runtime
Yeah.
means that, like, how do you know when to run it? You could run it before the script and do it otherwise. Like, you could wrap bash to run shell check and then run it with bash, something like that if you so chose. But yeah, I feel like that makes sense to me to just run when I'm writing the script.
No, you're correct. Actually, I'm kind of just dumb on that one. Yeah, like just when you're writing it, you were gonna write it like basically the correct script, anyways. And that's the time you want to check it if you're writing a script yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, what else was there? Okay, so I did clean artifacts, but then I also did the colors one, which I thought was pretty fun.
The colors one, the second last one, not the last one, but like the autocomplete.
The colors. You write different colors to your terminal.
Oh yeah, wasn't it that the autocomplete one?
Oh, maybe I just didn't do that.
Okay.
There could have been. Maybe I just missed that part. If you let me know what page, I may have just read over it.
Just autocomplete, but okay, yeah, the colors one. Another thing, there were so many long scripts actually, and writing every single long script with that whole thing with where you do the cat thing and then you say the script thing and then you write it with like the ending tag. You tag, you put the whole script within two tags. Yeah, that was like, because when you make a mistake or something, you basically haven't found a way to correct things. So it's basically just gonna give you something like bash substitution or something like that. Like the file doesn't even exist. So yeah, basically, I feel like anything that's more than 10 lines, and I'm gonna just hop onto text editor just to write the whole script instead of doing that whole thing. But yeah, it was kind of a little frustrating because yeah, the scripts this time were definitely long.
Didn't we go over last time ways to correct it? Like you could say like ls, go to the next line, whatever, and then type go to normal mode, then click V, and then edit like this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just that like sometimes you don't see the like mistake, and when you're like basically, let's just say you forgot a space, because bash is very sensitive to spaces and stuff like that. If you forgot a space from a parentheses or something like that, after a parentheses that is, and you just run like the whole thing, and it just tells you something like bash substitution, and that whole file doesn't even exist now, so you like you don't have anything to edit. I mean, we have, but like it's just, I feel like it would have been much more easier to just like have it on a code editor. But yeah, um that's what like I thought. So for anything more than 10 lines, I just opened Vim and did the whole thing there.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. I think the author wanted you to write it out, but they didn't say how specifically you could.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, restarting things logs IP addresses. That's so cool. Oh well.
um do you have anything else you want to go through?
Yeah, like since you didn't do the script, we can do the like look at the amazing color script I wrote.
Definitely.
It's very simple.
For this one, I was actually, yeah, there's the autocomplete script, and this is the first time where I'm like seeing like brackets opening and brackets not closing, and with like the color codes, that is, um, because yeah, this is actually the first time I'm like seeing something like this. Um, okay, what does shift do here?
It runs shift on the array of arguments. Or I guess the whatever we call the arguments, but it shifts the current one off.
Mm.
Because if I
Mm-hmm,
do not
mm-hmm,
do that,
mm-hmm. Comment it out.
if I don't do that and then we run it again, I guess I'll just do it includes the first argument in the thing instead of shifting it off.
Hmm. Can you do something like red, because your terminal colors are already orange or blue or something?
Oh, that's well, it does white.
Yeah, that's yeah,
Like that.
yeah.
I think those are like anti-escapes. I wonder.
Oh, you mean the brackets?
Yeah.
Is it possible for it to like zoom in?
Absolutely not. I think they just happen to have these characters on them. They chose them instead of like
uh,
a backslash or something else.
I had no idea about any of this. Like I mean, to be fair, I didn't even like look up, but it was like interesting that something like, how do you know these were ANSI escape characters?
Oh, I made my own like text renderer that used ANSI escape codes to render
Uh,
text when I did like the I mean like in my shell prompt, that's how I did it too. Like if I guess I don't need Vim. Okay, so we go here and we look for prompt.
mhm.
Oh, it's not in here. I know it's somewhere in here. Maybe if I look up PS1. Yeah, there we go. So see prompt command, PS1 command. See all these
Mhm.
codes? That's where the color codes come in. So if you've ever modified your prompt in Bash, then you've seen these.
Yeah, I've seen these, and um, yeah, but I did not like um, see the that like those like codes, or did not pay much attention when I have if I ever like if I ever encountered them before. So um,
Oh, well, yeah, now you know. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure they're just ANSI escapes. So this is the control sequence introducer.
Hmm.
So escape is /x1b, and then this open bracket is control sequence introducer. So I think it's just what they chose to do here. Is like why pick control G for terminal bell or control H for backspace? I don't know.
Is it tied to like the you know is it and it's somehow like tied to that if you do STTY like hyphen A. S,
STTY?
yeah, STTY hyphen A. So yeah, is it like tied to these things somehow? Like you have like different. Well, these are signals, but like depending on what you press on your terminal, it's gonna like do a thing. Like Control C is gonna like stop the thing. Control U is gonna uh,
Yeah, I think they just say what they are. What's the hex dump thing again?
um,
Hex dump. Oh, that's not very readable, is it?
hmm, let me open Google, the same page, the ANSI one, just to clear my brain.
Yeah, I'll just Google it. Oh, we want -C. That's not exactly what I wanted, but we have 3, 8, all of that.
Oh, you're checking like the hex values of the thing in case like if that's going to return something like, um, hmm,
No, just to show that it's a part of the terminal, like the output contains these characters, and then these characters tell it something to do. Just like if you have the carriage return, it tells you to go to the back
yeah,
of the
yeah.
start of the line. This is just some other character that works here. So what exactly supports ANSI? I feel like
Mm-hmm.
most terminals probably do. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can you run ANSI stuff without on a TTY?
Your terminal has to support the ANSI codes.
Okay, okay. Okay, definitely needs a further
Yeah,
deep diving, I guess.
I can confirm that these are terribly confusing and very hard to write. So I spent a really long time trying to figure out how to
Yeah.
make my prompt like this, and I spent probably like multiple months just being like with a broken something, or yeah, my prompt is broken and I just didn't care. And then I finally dug into it and fixed it after some time to get it orange on a new line, which wasn't that hard. It just
Uh,
didn't take the time. But yeah, it's like the ANSI escape codes are not easy to understand, in my opinion.
oh, so you basically you messed around with this stuff like before, too.
Yeah, I know about it because I've used something that used ANSI compliant characters when I made like a like my own output display kind of thing. And I don't think
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe I set up anything fancy to
Mm.
do that. Maybe
I
just
thought
it
you
was already handled.
okay. Yeah, I thought like you modified your prompt for the first time while going through the Linux Unix stuff. Um, no, it seems like you have messed with it before, so yeah,
Oh, I
that's
messed
why
with it.
your
I
knowledge
just
is.
didn't pay I didn't pay much attention to the fundamentals, so I just sat there with broken stuff for a while.
Uh,
And then actually
that's how
going
it
through
is.
this book and the other one were like great to actually get me to pay attention and do things instead of just being like, oh, this is so hard. So now I know about it, but that's just because I look through it, like, and like through this book, it told me to read through all my configs, so I know what they all do now as well, which was worth it.
Okay, okay, okay. You have messed around with it, I mean, before, so yeah. I mean, that's how, like, why your knowledge is so vast about this stuff.
Hey, you're the one who customized their Linux instance a bunch, right?
I mean, I don't even know sometimes what I'm doing, to be honest. Like, going through this stuff is um, for the scripts even, like, I just had to sit down and, because this is something that, I've not written scripts. Like, okay, how often do you write scripts for Bash at your work?
I mean, probably like every, like, at least monthly.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, yeah, that's okay. I understand. That's where you're like, super duper, like, you did all the stuff and like had almost no like problems and issues and so many like custom stuff that you made. But yeah, for me, it was like going through it for the first time, and like I would feel uncomfortable just to like talk about it. But like I remember your basically suggestion about like just you got to go through it at the first time anyway. So for most, I understand some of the stuff, but like Like so much of the stuff is just completely new to me, and I'm like encountering this stuff in just like in only in this week actually. So for many of the stuff, I actually had to like sit down and just like like line by line see like what is this doing, what is this doing, and Google stuff. So yeah, it was kind of rough to go through like the last 2 weeks of this book actually. So much of information just like is there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, at work, I don't modify my prompt or anything like that with this because I don't have Bash to work with as my main shell.
Do you use PowerShell or?
Yeah, we have like a custom version of PowerShell.
Okay, okay, okay.
There's Bash, it's just not real Bash, it's Bash on Windows. So it does not support a lot of the things.
Yeah, but I feel like it supports most of the things that you need to work with, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a weird intermixed thing, like how I have the ability to copy to my clipboard with like clip.exe within Ubuntu here because I have a
Hmm.
Windows mount that does wacky stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you have if you're a developer who's like using Windows, you're gonna have like stuff like that. Like even I'm like it's a mix of Cygwin, like Git Bash, but with like the entire SDK. So I get to use more Linux stuff here. Yeah, it's like a Frankenstein monster of basically Linux plus Windows. But you use WSL, right? Which something that I
Hmm.
don't. Yeah. Um, do you want to go through some of the stuff like I guess like
Yeah, sure.
I have some like silly doubts, I guess, but um,
Nothing silly.
um, oh, well, this is definitely silly. So, for some of the stuff like for the sleep command, like that was like, messing around with, like, when you're like playing around with for all the like signal stuff and like stop and basically for just as a dummy process. Um, it starts when you basically fire it up, like when you just do 30 seconds and then 31 seconds, 32 seconds. It's not going to be like, um, it's basically fires up when you actually start the process and not I was thinking like if it's unless it's part of a script or then it fires up I guess immediately, but like so for some of the stuff I was like waiting for I'm like why is it taking like such a long time between 30 seconds and 31 second or something, but no, it turns out it's not 31 seconds, it's 31 seconds from when you start. So yeah, that was like very silly of me, but it took me a long time to figure that out.
Like if you ran sleep 31, it would take 31 seconds since the sleep command started to finish.
Yes, yes, and like because I first I'm running like sleep 30 and then sleep 31, but it won't be like only 1 second between these two processes like when they are done, but it depends on when you start the sleep 31 thing. If you like took some time to type it out and everything and then like press enter, yes, the difference between the sleep 30 and sleep 31 is just not going to be 1 second. It's going to be like 5 6 seconds depending on when you start it. You're actually trying it out.
Yeah, why not?
Oh.
I wonder if that would work well. I mean, I guess I don't
Oh,
know.
if it's part of a script, then yeah, it's gonna fire instantaneously. It's like when it's not part of a script, when you're like doing it, like when you're starting the process, it's gonna start at when you do enter. But yeah, I feel like if it's part of a script, it's gonna fire immediately, and then the difference will be yeah,
So you're
definitely.
saying if I run sleep 30 here, like what will happen?
You can do you can just do sleep 10. Okay, sleep 10.
Sleep 10.
Sleep 10. Yeah. and sleep 10, and you want to run it in the background.
Like that.
Just one end, yeah, just one end, and do that, and just do sleep 11 and basically, just press enter, yeah, and do sleep 11 and
Like that.
yeah, and you can wait for them, just wait, as in wait, like a fire up wait, type wait and press enter,
You want me to run wait?
yeah. Wait, I don't think I'm using wait right there.
I'm pretty
Um,
sure. I mean, when I did it, I had to pass the PIDs.
oh, okay. I think 10 seconds are already. Uh,
Nope, I did it not correctly.
wait, how do you use wait again? Hmm. It says like you can just wait by just saying wait. Yeah, there was no PIDs or anything.
Oh, then maybe it just was already running through. Like it was just, you can say 30 and 35 and then wait. I think they just finished because it had been 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. You have to do percentage for like job 1 and job 2, like something like this. That was very poorly formatted code, by the way.
I mean, I didn't have to. It worked fine. 'Cause I
Okay.
only had 2 processes backgrounded.
Okay.
So what about this?
Oh, the thing is like, it's a silly thing, but like it fires up when you start the process. It's just that, like, not when just because you said 31 and 30, the difference is going to be like 1 second. No, it's just the 31 process fires up like when you actually start the process. So that took me a bit.
Okay, yeah, that
It's
makes
very silly.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Which is why I couldn't run it in
Um,
a script because it would be not hold the human error into account.
yeah. I'm still a little hazy on the stop signals. All I know is kill is basically uh, like a force stop, like as in like um, something that cannot be ignored, as compared to something like sig int, which is I guess it gives the process a little bit of like just like time to I guess clean up and things. Um, but there's also sig stop and there's sig um, term.
Hmm.
So did you like look up more on these things?
I didn't, but I had read them in the Linux book, which is like the Linux sysadmin book, so I didn't read them again, but I'm glad to explain.
Okay, yeah, okay, you can go through them. Like,
Yeah, so like the different signals, probably in the man page,
yeah,
right?
I know this is like not related, but like there's a character in Metal Gear Solid called Sigint, and he's actually a tech support guy. So finally, I got to understand the reference, I guess.
I guess it does not say specifically in here. But we can always Google.
Also, the confusing thing was like, running it with kill. Kill, like depending on what core you give it, like for example, if you give it 2, it's going to run SIGINT, and if you give it like like the code 9, it's going to run SIGKILL. But the kill process, like the kill thing, is a thing on it with itself. So that was a bit confusing to me too.
Yeah, I mean, I just typically never need to run kill with anything other than SIGKILL because I can run the others in my own terminal, which I will show you. But yeah, so we have our things here. So we have SIGTERM, stop, and whatnot. I guess this is not as helpful as I thought it would be, but that's okay. So I made a beautiful trap command that says you can't escape, oh no. And it does, like I'm doing SIGINT right now, and it says, what is going on here? You can't stop me. So typically, like SIGINT can be trapped, as we can see here. And that is done. It's more of a hard stop. And the program can choose to intercept it, and then they're able to say, yeah, they could straight ignore it if they wanted to, or they could have a nicer way to get rid of it and or shut down their own program, their resources. And then this one, I forget what they all are. Like, what is the Control Z?
The Z. Control Z is, I believe.
I know it's like the softer version of it. It's like a, is it a stop? I don't think so.
Isn't it suspend? I think it's stop. Yeah, it's stop. I think it's stop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's SIG stop. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I can't do this one either, and it does not like it. So I more or less have to go kill this process.
Okay, what's the difference between SIG stop and like it just asks us to just basically suspend the process, as in like?
So I've been using this before too. So like, if I go Vim high, I'm in here, I'm doing stuff. I do SIG stop here.
Yeah.
It's not actually gone, but I can go do stuff. And then if I want to go back, I can do stuff like echo cheese because I feel like it. But I can do foreground, and I'm back. And I can do SIG cont for SIG continue, and I'm back.
Okay. So is it akin to, this is gonna be like, it's gonna sound so bad, but like, is this akin to basically on Windows you're just clicking minimize on something?
It's in the background, so it's just like when you ran those jobs. I'm pretty sure. But kind of.
Okay. What about resource? Like when you say SIG stop, does it like basically free the resources that like process is using, or the resources are still like in case of Windows, depending on what you're doing, I guess like if you have too many browsers that are inactive, I guess it frees up that resource, but sometimes it just doesn't.
I'd expect it to keep running. We can find out.
Okay.
I don't know. We could do 100. I probably didn't need to do that, but whatever. Done. This will. Yeah, we have high forever, so we can see if this stops or what. But we can.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have. I shouldn't do this. I should just echo the actual thing, right? Echo the number. That would be easier. Yeah. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, whatever. So I have put this in the background.
If the sequence breaks,
And we can find out what happens if I go to the foreground. What's your guess?
Okay. I think it's gonna go. It's the sequences. If it, I feel like the sequence gonna break. I think gonna start from 4.
I think it will have continued on.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's a different foreground. Maybe this. Oh no. How do I foreground this thing? Oh, I
Lost forever.
foregrounded the sleep 1. I guess I don't know.
Hmm.
Oh, and for reference, we are doing Bash Book Club.
Is there a way to, I guess, like, so the issue here is basically this whole thing is not being captured by the FG thing.
Hmm?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I don't know why this didn't work as I expected, but it seems like this did not. Maybe it needs to be its own thing. Who knows? I could
Function?
copy paste it and
Yeah,
we'll call
maybe
it
a
hello.
script.
Throw it in a file.
Yeah.
Hello. Run hello. Background this.
Okay.
Foreground.
Maybe wait a bit. Yeah. Wait a bit. Wait a bit. Okay. Now.
6? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It basically stops it. Basically. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense to
So
me.
I think.
That's not what I expected, but
Okay.
it does make sense because if there's a continue signal, that keeps the job. I was thinking
Mm,
it was the same as backgrounding it with the, or using the jobs with the ampersand, but it does not seem to be so.
mm,
But
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it
Okay.
seems like it just stops it. So this is sig stop,
Yeah.
and we have, if I run instead, sigint, signal interrupt, it straight stops it. And if I
Yep.
do FG, I had another one running in the background that I did not kill. But if I do it again, there's nothing here. So, I mean, let's just run this again to see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just gone.
Yeah. Okay.
But for the other ones, like kill, they are
Yeah.
uninterceptable. You cannot stop them because otherwise this would be here, which is why the author says find someone who cannot stop this thing. So I could.
Wait. So you're telling me like a sig kill can not kill that process?
It can kill it.
Okay. So yeah, that's the thing with sig kill, right? The program cannot like basically ignore it.
Yep. I mean, it can't
Okay.
ignore it because it never receives the signal. It just kills it.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So okay. Basically, you're not even talking to the program. You just like killing the process, basically. Yes.
Yeah, so I can sig kill -9 and it's not sig kill, it's kill.
Yeah.
Kill
Kill with
-9.
9. Yeah. That's it.
And
Yeah. Kill
now
that.
it is gone. Has been murdered. It is dead.
Killed. Is it possible to sig kill it through here? Like how like Control C, is that SIGINT? Is there any way
Um
to like sig?
I think it's like control D sig kills.
Okay. Did it?
I didn't run it.
Okay. Press Control D, I guess then.
I'm googling what sig kill.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I mean, I can just
I
do
think
it. Yeah, let's see.
yeah.
Control D does not do anything.
Mm.
Maybe it's like control slash or something. I don't remember what it is.
Wait, let me just. Oh my god, my computer just slept, sleeping.
Okay, I don't know. Tried googling it, but I'm just gonna Google it here. Okay, so
Mm, I think it's Control U.
it says control C is SIGINT. Okay, so they're handled by the TTY driver.
I think it's Control
Control
U.
slash is sig quit.
Yeah, I think kill is Control U, but I guess it depends. Um, did you try Control U?
Nope. Okay, so we can do control A and
Not
then
Control
K for kill. Let's find out. Nope, control A is not working.
All right, Control
You say
U.
control U. Control
Yeah.
U does nothing.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I was thinking, what could we do? But
Okay, yeah, you can just
I'm
run
glad I
that.
read through the other thing. I read through the bash RC I had, and pgrep was set for process grep, which is very fancy.
Kill the wrong process.
Oh no, I killed the right process the first time. It is die.
Okay, good. Okay, can you do STTY hyphen A again? Somewhere, yeah, there also. Okay, so here you see like how control, like can I control, uh,
Oh yeah, control U is
but
sig
control S
kill.
is, yeah. But then again, like control S was like control Z was like sig stop, right? Oh no, it was suspended. Sorry, no. Stop was
Yeah.
control. I think S. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I think control U doesn't work because I feel like the terminal intercepts it before it gives the signal. I think like there are a few things that the terminal, before I guess bash like it goes to the before bash like handles it. Like the terminal takes like for example control H or control M, things like that. Those are intercepted by the terminal.
Well, I would have thought I wrote sig kill here or something to prevent it from working. Well, you can try
Hmm.
it. Well, I guess I don't have hello in here. I have hello here. So we want control U. That doesn't do anything. It seems
Yeah, I feel like
it's probably intercepted by something else.
yeah. You're right. The terminal is like picking it up. It would be a fun. I'm not into cybersecurity or anything, but yeah, these kind of stuff will be fun to make. When you fire up your terminal and you cannot get out of it or anything. Does a big countdown before you can even use your terminal.
Yeah, but did that clear up your
Doubt.
doubts about signals?
Yeah, definitely between suspend and sig int, and yeah.
Any other questions about the other ones? or anything else?
Mm, associative arrays are basically like key value pairs, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's the
what
one.
I
Like,
did here. Yeah, check this. This is an associative array.
uh,
You saw one already.
uh, yeah. um,
Sometimes they're different than this, but in Bashland you can just pass the color, like the string itself, and it will work. Whereas other places you'll like it's truly just an array and you must loop through it to validate the key value pairs. Like here's like it's like a construct of the language, but sometimes it's
mhm.
more like, yeah, pretend we're in JavaScript land here, but you could do something like
Yeah.
key value. So to validate this thing was in here, you'd have to loop through and check if a key exists.
Okay.
And you could probably wrap it with something else to see, or like there might be a fancy function somewhere. But yeah,
Mm,
you can think of it pretty much
Play.
just as a hash map here.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Um, there's something fun with parameter expansions, but like getting substrings and other things like that. Uh, I did not know that. Like, I mean, they're like methods, but instead you just like have one letter with a control character in there, which does the thing, I guess. Um, apart from that, it was just me going through the thing. Um, yeah, okay. Another thing, for some reason, for autocomplete, um, if you type, okay, if you press tab twice right now, what does it give you?
It plays the bell, and it probably will do the
Oh,
thing where it's just really laggy, but yeah, it's just doing a bell.
okay. Yeah, I guess we like discussed this kind of like um in the previous thing. But yeah, like here, supposed to, but on Linux actually here, it's supposed to give me all the possibilities. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't respond to anything actually, which I don't know why.
Yeah, it works on
Um,
commands that have completions, but just it didn't seem to happen naturally.
mm, okay. And then you have the big ending code. Did you like go through it?
I don't think I got through it too much like I did most of it, but yeah, we can see.
I was going to ask you, like, because it feels like something that you would probably just use it for your work because, what it does is just like, it checks for updates on the Git repo and then basically, runs the test, like whatever test needs to be run, and then does a log file and sends you an email and stuff like that. And I guess also deletes the older files if everything is A-OK. So yeah, that seems like a perfect, good, like out of all the things, like I know you wrote way more functional stuff because I feel like you are more experienced in that front, like dealing with, you have been scripting stuff for your work for a long time, so you're capable of writing more functional stuff. But this whole big thing is like the first um, exercise where I could like. There were a couple of others like before that, but this feels like the one where it's like, oh, I can see how this is gonna be like super helpful.
Yeah, I mean, there's use cases everywhere. Like it doesn't start out this big usually, And I don't know, like, I probably would not leave this as a bash script personally, but I don't know, I'm more scared of bash in this. Like, the
Mhm.
the guideline I have heard and which I follow is
Yeah.
like if it's more than
Yeah.
100 lines, you can switch to something else. And then if I just switch to like
Uh,
JavaScript or something, it'll make my
yeah.
life easier sometimes. Like some things are clearly better on the shell, but other things are like, I don't know, I feel more comfortable there, so I'll go with some other language that's available to me.
Mhm. Mhm. Out of curiosity, where did you get that guideline, which is like, if it's more than 100 lines of code, go with something else?
I don't know, I just heard it somewhere, and I think it makes sense to me because Bash
Yeah.
seems unwieldy sometimes.
Mm. Unwieldy in like what sense?
There's a lot of things to handle and a lot of
Mm.
gotchas that are there. And like for example, here I have shell check.
Uh,
At my job, I do not have shell check. So even more reason for me to use
okay.
a language that's stricter. I know funny saying JavaScript in that case, but
No, I mean JavaScript doesn't have like the. I mean, I feel like going through Bash definitely, because there are numerous times where I just missed a space or something like that, and it's just like the entire thing broke down. So because I didn't, like for example, JavaScript doesn't care about like if there's a space between like a parentheses and the next character basically, or it doesn't like definitely doesn't care about like if there's a space after the equal to sign or not. um, Wait, no, it cares about that. Okay, no, so okay, that was a bad example. But at least for the parentheses, it doesn't care about like things like that. So um, yeah, and I'm still like not sure about like all the um, double quotes and other things in some places. And the author actually himself, there are numerous places where they say that. Uh, okay, I don't know why it's a thing with Bash, but it's just a thing with Bash. It's just one of those things. So yeah, I can understand why you would want to switch to something um, better for something big.
sorry, say that again.
Say what again?
What you just said.
No, no, like there definitely there are numerous gotchas, and the author himself, like going through the entire book, like numerous places, they do mention that there are a few quirks with a bash, like for example, there are some cases where you're supposed to have like curly brackets, and where you're supposed to have like single. There's actually that quote escape thing that was there before. That was like kind of like okay, wow. Um, so yeah, I can definitely understand why you wouldn't want to pick something up. Like if you want to write a larger thing or a longer thing, yeah, you would want to pick something else up.
Yeah, I mean, if I start a file and I'm writing a script, it's going to be smaller from the start, so it'll be more understandable in general. And it makes a lot of sense for me to do for certain things. Like I have some examples of some scripts that I've written is like something to make a backup of a specific folder, and I have some options to take from one location or another, and another one is
Mm-hmm.
to pull a bunch of Git repos and or check them out to a specific spot,
Mm-hmm.
run a
Is it
bunch of
will it be possible for you to
okay.
share the the scripts that you're talking about
Nope.
later? Oh,
No.
okay.
I mean, none of them
Oh,
are complex, but I cannot share them.
oh, okay. It's work related, right?
Yeah, so I can't share those.
Oh, okay. No, no, no. I meant like the ones that you did for the exercises.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I can do that. I thought you were mentioning those
No,
ones.
no, no, no. Why would I like ask your
I mean,
work
I've
related
had
stuff?
people ask before. I've had
share your
many people
entire
that are
work.
like, "Hey, can you screen share your work?" And I'm like, "No, I cannot do that."
Okay, so you also work with PowerShell, right?
Not really. Like I just run bash scripts if
Uh,
I have to. Nothing
yeah, okay.
against
I was like,
PowerShell or anything, just like I haven't learned it and I'm not super interested in doing so. I can't
hmm,
say if it's good or bad personally. I just work with bash.
okay, okay, gotcha. No, because like, well, you mentioned PowerShell because then you seem to be like a person who would be like good with multiple shells. So I was going to ask, like, how does Bash compares to PowerShell? I got it. I mean, Bash all the way for now.
Yeah, the answer is I don't know. The only thing I do in PowerShell is install things with Winget, and that's about it.
Hmm. I mean, you got done Bash, so maybe PowerShell. I mean, okay, you said you don't have any interest right now. You know, okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not particularly interested. Maybe sometime I would, but I don't feel like I have a reason to do so.
Hmm.
Like it makes sense to try it out and give it a chance. I just haven't felt like it. Like I should probably give Windows more of a chance for the file permissions and whatnot, but I have
Hmm.
not.
Hmm.
I know certain tools that I really like only work on Linux or Unix based systems, so I'm there for that and I'm just more familiar, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
I am biased
yeah.
against
Okay.
PowerShell for no real reason, just from what I've
Yeah, I
heard. So
mean,
like I really do not know.
okay. Wait, what have you heard?
Oh, I've just heard a lot about like Windows being hard to develop on and various things like that, which I can't really say how true that is because like the problems I had with it likely were something to do with me not
Mm-hmm.
understanding how to use things. Like I didn't know a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
shell stuff until digging into it. So I cannot
Mm.
say if that is me or it is Windows or anything else, but either way, like I don't know.
Okay,
We'll
okay,
see
okay.
if I have something more important than learning another shell to get into.
Mm. Mm. Okay. I mean, I kind of like, yeah, I've never thought about Windows as like my primary, um, like dev environment, so I can understand. Um, I usually should switch to something. I at least need like some, yeah, like, yeah, definitely Windows is something I do not consider my primary dev environment. So yeah, I can understand you not wanting to expand your, like, you wanted to dedicate more time towards, like, learning more things there. Definitely in the future I think you will, because I feel like you are just that person. But yeah, for now I can definitely understand why you want to not go in that direction. Okay, Bash. Okay, so I think we are, like, do you have more things to like talk about?
I feel like I don't have anything else because I went through all the exercises that I did. And I mean,
Mm,
the other things would be like look through sed and see how to uppercase things, but that was not particularly interesting. It's just like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
mm. I did spend some time with that. Like, they felt like the at least capturing these substrings or other things. For example, if you prompt something and like, ask for some input, or okay. The interesting thing is, like, for example, if you have a bunch of files, and like sometimes people name their files as this file, then the date and everything, then I guess just you can get rid of the first name of the thing and just get the dates and everything, and that's useful in some way if you want to put that through some kind of script or something. So yeah, in that way it was interesting. um but yeah, I did play around with some of that stuff. um but yeah. I did some of the exercises, but definitely not all the way because I'm like, this is the first time I'm actually going through it. And I think I dedicated like 6-ish hours this week towards this, which was, I feel like, not enough to, um, you know, get the whole thing completely, as in like spend. I feel like, the last thing I itself was like, I should have like dedicated around 4 or 5 hours, the big script that is, because I'm like very new to this. Um,
Yeah, I didn't
but
end
yeah,
up
because
reading
but
that one. Yeah, like I did the rest of it, but not this.
yeah, this is definitely a first pass for me, and now I definitely know more about Bash. Um, I can understand. I can write a few things here and there, some other things. Um, I can look at a Bash script and like kind of understand what's going on, the tests, the like if if file exists or not, stuff like that, which are like very popular things that you encounter, the loops and everything. So yeah, definitely got a lot more out of the book. What about you? How much will you say? I feel like you have made astounding progress because you are fully integrating stuff that you learned from this book into your job now.
I mean, yeah, all you have to do is write a script, just like find something and write something. Not like you don't have anything to do with it either.
Mm.
Just find a task you do a bunch and write a script to help you out.
What's your, if I have to ask, like, what's the first thing that you automate? Like, a whole lot of it was also like automation. Like, you know, what's the first thing that you would want to automate?
In what sense?
In sense, like, let's just say you do things. Um, like, do you automate everything basically, if it's possible to automate everything?
I waste a lot of time automating things that would take less time otherwise. I just spent
Okay.
time making like a screenshot for like a meme with Duolingo, and I made a script that would generate a bunch of HTML templates to make the same layout and everything look the same without spending a bunch of time typing every single letter and copy pasting the nodes over and over. So I tend to automate more things on my, I feel like maybe just the web stuff I'm more familiar with, and I automate that.
Hmm. Okay, so basically you automate everything.
I do
Okay.
have scripts in my projects and everything too, so I would guess that counts as automation, and I do like CI and have that on all my personal projects too. So if we consider that automating, then yeah, I do a lot of it. I'm just having trouble thinking of what exactly I'm doing.
Hmm.
But so
Yeah,
not everything, but a
CI
lot of
is
things.
okay. CI is in like when you're deploying stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for
Okay.
example, oh, so if I check out here, I have I forget what's in here. I think it's like ci.yaml. No.
Like, why does it say DNS?
Why does it say DNS? Because that's the name of the branch. I called it DNS.
Okay. Okay. I thought like, no, we just finished that. I thought it's related to networks or something.
No, I'm writing a blog about DNS.
Okay.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it is related then, but I mean, it's just a name. Okay.
okay, so now we can look at this. I probably could have just used Vim in the folder now that I think about it. But yeah, like I automate all of this stuff because I don't want to do it myself and validate every time. But like for
Mm.
example, this is kinda like tiny scripts. but I make sure before I run anything or merge stuff in, I check out my repo, install everything, check the formatting, lint everything, and if any of that fails, it fails the whole thing. And then from
Hmm.
there, it will make a PR environment and
Yeah.
show me my blog live. And if that's all good, then I can merge that in and deploy to production.
Okay. Cool.
And I guess I have a bunch of scripts and other projects too. Like I had a format script I remember for something that formatted most of the files that I had. Like I used Prettier for Markdown, Cargo FMT
Hmm.
for formatting, Rust stuff, and
Weren't you
Just
working on
formatter
a
for
spell check
Just.
thing?
Hmm?
Weren't you working on a spell check thing?
Yep.
Was it related to that?
A spell check thing. You mean like the writing helper tool that I'm making?
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I mean, I don't
Uh,
have too much automation set up for that because it's like very. There's like a little bit, but not anything too much.
hmm. Any closing thoughts on the book?
I thought it was really good. If I had spent more time with it, it would have been. I would have gotten more out of it, which, of course, that's how any
I
book would
feel like you
go.
already got so much out of it. Yeah, definitely more than I did. But again, yeah, I have to spend more time with it, and I will definitely. Uh, but yeah, you seem to be like, yeah, you. There's this term called grok. Uh, you definitely seem to have grokked the book.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I learned some of the stuff from prior times, like when we read the Linux Unix sysadmin handbook. I got a bunch of
Mm.
this information out of that book, and then coming into this, it just helped me reinforce a lot of that knowledge and learn more things about other things. So
Okay.
overall, I really enjoyed the book. I thought it was great, and I really liked the teaching style. Just it's unfortunate that when I was reading it, I wasn't in a place where I could like use a terminal, which made me do the exercises a lot less.
Mm. Mm.
But overall, yeah, I really liked it. What about you?
As I said, I definitely need to go through it more, as in like write the scripts and everything, like just and complete the exercises because um, I was like, finding myself getting stuck on things as if like because this is my first time actually writing scripts in this um, like in the in this way before because I don't think I've used Bash to write scripts ever, like for anything. So this was new to me, but like just like great suggestion from you, which was like just go through the stuff. It's like a first pass anyway. So for me, it was like the first pass. Um, so definitely, I need to go do more things with it for me to get to a level where like I'm doing like the cool stuff like you are doing. So yeah, which I will be with time. But yeah, great first pass through the book actually. Like I can look at Bash code and understand it now. Like
Nice.
understand what's kind of happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I figure it'll be much easier. Just like write some more scripts and read other scripts, and I'll be pretty good.
Yeah. Like things will not be a mystery to me. Like it won't be like I have to like Google every single thing, which is like okay, what is here? What is this term here? Or what is term here? I can kind of just look at it and be like, okay, this is what it's like doing here. This is what like the process is like. This is what's happening here. This is like all the ways to get the variables from some other place to put it to some other place. So yeah, good first pass. I will say that. Yeah, it was definitely going through this book with you. I was definitely interesting. I got like so much out of it. This whole like book club.
Yeah, glad we got it done in a decent amount of time too. That was like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, 3 weeks, like short actually.
Yeah, maybe I'll come back to it some other time and we can see. But I think I probably won't come back to it. But if I do, then
Hmm.
I'll be able to go through it much faster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're gonna continue with that like Linux thing, right? Um, like
Someday.
somewhere someday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm wondering if like the scripting things. I forgot what the second half of the book was about actually. But yeah. Um, what's more on your like down the line, like related to Linux or Bash or containers? Anything more that you have like that you want to learn down the line?
I don't have anything in particular. Like, I think I got what I wanted to get out of things, but otherwise, there's not really too many books I can read. Just like see what's out there, learn new things, find out what tools are happening. Because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the tools I see are not necessarily in a book. It's just this is what is being used for this specific thing.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
So I don't have anything for now, but yeah, like I mentioned, I've been digging a little more into DNS and seeing what that's all about. So who knows
Mm,
where I will go from there.
okay, good.
But yeah, I definitely should take somewhat of a break after all of these and just chill for some
You
time. Because
take
if I start
breaks?
reading a book, I will read. I do take breaks. I will just
Oh
read
my god.
forever and be super tired. Like this book club, I don't know. Got more tired at the end, but that's not necessarily like the book's fault. I'm just doing a lot of stuff.
If I
Okay.
have to ask, how much time do you think like you spent doing this book every week?
I spent like probably 6 hours.
Okay, 6 hours per week. Okay.
Yeah, like a pretty decent, like, it wasn't enough for me to get it all done, but it was enough
Mm,
to get the vast majority of it done and get a lot out of it without
okay.
like being so much to burn me out, you know?
Hmm. 6 hours is still like a decent amount of time actually, especially when you have like a full-time job.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, any final thoughts before we end off the stream? I feel like we're just chit-chatting now.
Yeah, like I don't actually.
Okay.
My final thoughts were like 5 minutes, well, 15 minutes ago, yeah.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good. Then let's end it off here. And thanks everybody for coming through this with us. And hopefully you had a good time learning about Bash. See y'all for another book club sometime soon, maybe. We'll see.
Hmm.